Hello, welcome back. Episode 3.
Episode 3.
Mother-Daughter Chronicles.
Here we go.
Yeah, it'll be a good week this week, hopefully.
Yeah, right?
Last week I was just feeling feisty because I was so angry about so many things and we were just not on the same page. Because there might be some episodes where we can just vent and bitch, but you were like sunshine rainbows last week and I was not. I just wanted to.
But then yes, I was for the most part. But then I was out driving the other day, and I can't even tell you how many times I was dropping F-bombs. Like, I was screaming at people. I was like, I should not be out in the world right now. It's like I'm sunshine and rainbows when I'm here in my safe place. But then sometimes when I have to be out in the world, especially in my car.
Yeah, well, road rage is a whole other thing for sure.
I know.
I relate to that. But I was like, last week you could tell I wanted to just get into like the human condition and like get angry. And then you were like, I want to talk about weddings and like life, and I was like, okay, we just weren't on the same page,
but
which is fine.
And we roll with it in our everyday life too, of just like, okay, she's not in a good mood or I'm not in a good mood, and then we just know we need, some space from everybody.
It's just if we're not on the same page, it's harder to bounce off each other, because you could tell I didn't want to bounce off your ideas and you didn't want to bounce off my ideas, so then it just ended up more so being like us talking separately together. Right. I guess
we were beside each other but saying totally different energies were brought to the table.
Definitely.
Well, that's fine, it happens, right?
Yeah.
So I have a couple of would you rather questions.
Yeah, we're gonna start off deep and then get into some fun catch up stuff.
Yeah, we'll tell you what our week has been like, but before that, so a couple of questions. So would you rather never age or never worry about money?
Money.
Really? Yeah, I think I'm the same way.
Because if you think about it this way, if you never age, you're literally, let's say, a vampire. You're going to lose everyone you love over and over and over.
Yeah.
But if you never worry about money, you could live 80 years, but live the most glorious 80 years. Totally. Like, I would have the best wardrobe, go on the best trips, donate so much to charity. Like, I would live a really full 80 years versus in like infinite amount of years. Who knows how good it'll be, because it doesn't say that you're rich if you're living forever.
Yeah, I'm not, like, aging doesn't scare me, so I would definitely pick money, because I don't care. Like, I don't know, I always go on the side of I'm happy I'm here. If there's some laugh lines, then I've earned them, or if there's some wrinkles, because I've been around. So
yeah, I'm not like that. I'm very shallow.
I know you are.
Any little line that's developing, which is any line I see on my face now, I see on photos from when I was 19, 20. Like, it's not a sign of aging. It just means you move your face. And I see it on other people too, but I just no. I'm not a filler. I would never be a filler girly. I don't like lip filler. I don't like face filler. You do you, but I don't like it. But Botox would be a maybe for me as I age.
Maybe could get on board with that.
And it kind of reminds me of the picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde, because that's what he does, right? He exchanges eternal youth and beauty for... Like, he has a painting, right, of a portrait, and the portrait keeps aging and getting ugly because this character slowly kind of descends into madness, and the painting keeps aging and almost taking on all the ugliness of his personality. That's not the best way to explain it. It's a really, really good book. It's like one of my favorite classics. You would love it. Yeah. And it's just kind of like, at what cost will you stay eternally young and beautiful? And yeah, I saw on Goodreads someone said, R.I.P. Dorian Gray, you would have loved Botox, because this was written in the 1800s.
The other one I wanted to ask you is, do you believe that men and women could be platonic friends?
Yes, 100%. After this, I'm going to my friend's house for a pool party, and I love my guy friends like brothers, but not in the annoying, like, I'm one of the boys. Well, I mean, I am one of the boys.
You are,
a little too much sometimes. But like, not in that annoying, like, I'm the girlfriend, girl who's a friend way. But I love my friends like brothers, and I would do anything for them. They do anything for me. But I totally believe it. And I saw this one thing about how if men can be friends with women, then like they respect them so much more as people, because they don't only see them as sexual objects.
Yeah, no, I agree. I have a lot of male friends, and I think it's great. I love it. Like, they bring something a little different to the table than women. Like, I find with my male friends, they're not going to be the same as like, my female friends are checking in on me. They're a little bit more emotionally invested in my well-being. They're more like, I think they care, but they wouldn't it's just received, or it's given differently than it is with women.
Yeah,
I think
I would say though that's why I love my friend Tyler so much, because he quoted something from our first episode and I was like, you watched it. Yeah, he is the best
him.
And
yes,
like when our dog passed away, he texted me. When my first song came out, he texted me. So I do feel like
it depends on the person.
guy, because I think there's some really good guy friends out there that will check on you.
Yeah, I just always think of like, you know, we tend to quote the like Friends episode where it's like they kiss for the first time,
Ross
and
and
it's
Rachel kiss for the first time.
Yeah, and so they, you know, she's over there telling the girls, and the girls are like, you know, they want every detail. Did he brush your hair from
Play
your
by play.
face? Like they want it all. And then you go over to the boys' apartment, they're eating pizza, and he's like, tongue? Yeah, cool. Like that's it. Like I just feel like sometimes, and I guess it does depend on the men, the girls, they want to know every detail. Like they want
every detail. I could give you like a play-by-play of so many like dates and like intimate experiences of my friends.
Right?
Like we know so much about each other.
So much. And like there's no like, I don't know, like I could talk to my girlfriends about anything. Like I could be like, well, I don't want to say here, but anyways, like I could ask them like not intimate questions, but I could ask them like, where do you buy this, of something women related or something? And you know, you wouldn't really get into that with your guy friends, but
yeah, no, for sure. So yeah, I think we both say yes.
Oh, I definitely think that yeah, platonic for sure. I can't wait to hear how you answer this, because I don't know, I think it'll be fascinating, but do you believe that people deserve second chances?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I give a lot of second chances to people.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. I thought it was going to be a little more, it depends on what they've done and stuff.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. If you want to get, yeah. I would say it depends for sure.
Depends
but I think when you don't believe in second chances, maybe it's because you don't change. Like I feel like I've changed so much that like I would hope that people wouldn't judge me on like my 16-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-old self. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And some people say you can't change, and I don't know. I always struggle with that one, because I think I'm not the same person I was in high school. Like I've changed and evolved and like
and
grown.
You might not even realize how much, because obviously I know I'm different, but I've even found old journals and I'm like, I don't even think the same way. Like my brain doesn't even operate in the same way at all.
But it's also like when you're thinking like your teen years, like you have a lot of new hormones you're dealing with. There's a lot going on in your teen years. Your brain isn't even fully developed. So, you know, it's, like of course you're going to change. I hope people change, but I do believe everyone deserves a second chance, depending what it is.
Cheating, no, just because I couldn't personally get past that. I know some people can. That would be a no for me. So yeah, I guess it would depend, but I do believe that most people deserve second chances. And I think now that I'm 26, seeing how much more complex relationships are.
Yeah.
Like when I was younger, I did see things as black and white because I hadn't had as much worldly experience. And the worst type of fights or like disagreements as adults where it's like no one's actually wrong. We just see things different. Like things get much more complex.
Yeah.
So
it gets more muddled.
Yeah. So you think second chances too?
I think second chances, but I'm definitely more on the depends side. I think
Scorpio.
Like I just feel like, I don't know, if you're out killing animals like dogs or something, then no, like bye, you're done. Yeah. But the cheating, I'm a little more of a gray. It depends on some circumstances. Just for me, I just feel like I know a couple stories where I can see how they've worked things out. So it also depends. Like if you're giving someone a second chance, like what work have they put in, you know, or what have they put in to kind of reassure that something isn't going to happen again, or that, you know, this is what I've done. And, you know, so I'm not going to do it again, or that behavior you won't see again.
Fair. Yeah.
But if somebody's like, I don't know, you just need to give me a second chance. Well, like why? Right? Like give me a, you know, what's going to be different, or what did you learn from that, or so many, right?
Yeah, remember I had a friendship in high school that ended, and she like came over and brought all these like baked goods as an apology, and I was like, I appreciate the gesture, but no. But also there were so many more factors. Like I just didn't like her as a person.
Yeah.
But I was like, no, after this, like that's it. Like I don't want to be friends with you. And she was so mad at me for not forgiving her for that. I'm like, just because you brought over baked goods, which I acknowledged was kind,
Yeah,
and the gesture was very thoughtful, I'm still not obligated to forgive you and give you more chances. No. But I guess now that I'm thinking about it, anyone I didn't give second chances to, I probably already just didn't really like them as people. Like my friends in high school, we all had a falling out. Like I just didn't think they were good people. So then kind of when they did something to me, it was like, yeah, this is already on its way out.
Yeah, so. Yeah. You've had people drop off apology letters and you were like, that's great. I acknowledge that's very nice of you to put yourself out there, but yeah, maybe forgive but don't forget.
Yeah, like the thing.
Yeah.
My one friend who did that, she dated my ex and like lived 2 doors down from me. It was so devastating and awful and all that. And she like mailed with no return address a letter apologizing.
Yeah.
And it was very much so. It was only like 1 page front and back, and like, which I find crazy because when I write people things, it's like 5 pages. So I was like, oh, that's nice. She kept it short, concise, accountability. Here's my email. I don't even remember what I sent now. It's probably not as good as what I would want to send now. I'd probably be I think in my email, I like kind of went into it more about like how much it hurt, but it's like, okay, she already knew that. But that was like 4 or 5 years ago now. So I'd probably answer it differently and just be like, hey, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure I said just more in a long form thing. But with that, would I be friends with her again? No. But I really appreciated the apology, and I totally like forgive that for the most part.
Well, and she also did like, I learned this, you know what I mean? Like she acknowledged what
she was pretty young for her age at the time. So like I also took that into account. Like we were in very different stages of life. So when she hurt me, like she hadn't dated anyone. Like I don't think she realized the extent of what she was doing. So I took into account those things about her life too. So yeah, but what second chance would I actually I don't know. I don't think she'd ever do that again though, because I think she learned. So if we were to be friends again, would I forgive that? Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Exes for me are like there's no gray area for me. I'm like, no.
Well, it's
unforgivable.
It's just why would you even be interested in someone's, like your friend's ex? Like I just don't get it.
Imagine the amount of stories you've heard about us dating and like intimate, and like there's a billion people in the world and you date the one guy and you live 2 doors down from me. It's like, holy shit. But
sorry, I don't want to keep talking about it, but that day that you found out it was somewhat like, it wasn't funny, but it was just funny. Your reaction was
potentially one of my most iconic moments.
Really was
in life, because I don't see red. Like I'm a very calm person, even in conflict. I'm like very chill.
Yeah.
But she basically she had come over and said like, I'm interested in him, and I was just like, what? Like I was so taken aback, because me and him had like a very serious, like deep relationship, which ended badly, but whatever. And then she was like, text me later that night, you know what, I'm so sorry I even asked to do that. Like that was fucked up of me. I'm not gonna go for him. And I was like, okay, you know what, whatever, I'll still continue this friendship. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember.
Yeah. I think you were like a little thrown off, but you were like, okay, I'm glad that she's realizing.
Yeah. So then I was standing out. I was preparing to go to the drive-in with my new boyfriend at the time, and I'm standing out there, and all of a sudden I see them walking by together. And at this point, last I had heard, she said, sorry for even asking. Like, I'm not going for it. I had gotten no update. So I see them walking, because you had seen his car. You saw his car, and I was like, there's a million models of that car. That's not his car. Like, there's no way he's here. But I was like,
that's his car.
And yeah, so they start walking by, and I honestly have never experienced anything like that to this day. I felt the blood rushing through my body. I saw red, and I just waved my arm. I'm in a weird shirt for this, but I was like, hi.
Yeah. Like she was in the driveway and they walked by and she's like, hi. Like, oh, I was just, oh boy. I didn't know if she was going to go charging at them either. Like, I was like, wow, you were shooken up. You were shooken up, because then you saw it firsthand. So she asked, she clearly, like, it's just one of those things that
it was like a rage built up in me that I've never experienced before. And he turned and was like, hi. And she wouldn't even look at me.
No.
And I was like, wow. But it was, and again, like, him and I are fine now. We have a lot of mutual friends. I just saw him like last week. Like we're very chill. Everything's fine. Everything's water under the bridge. Like we're not bringing this up to like rehash it.
God,
it's just,
no. It's just an example.
It's genuinely just so funny.
It's an example of, well, it was, would you give someone a second chance? And then kind of leads into that story. But yeah. Okay. So my last question is, which is going to be funny, but who is more likely to forget where they parked a car in a parking lot?
Did you make that one up or you found that?
I found it and I died. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing.
Okay, well, both of us, because we're very bad for this, and we take photos of where we park if we're in like an underground lot, and we still lose it. But there was one time I went to a dinner and I parked it somewhere in Toronto. And was calling you like, I don't know which even parking
so
garage.
She was walking around at like midnight or so. It was like 11 or 12 at night. And she's like, I don't know where it is. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do, but now I'm super stressed. So thank you for including me in this. I was just like dying. I was like, oh my God, where were you?
Yeah. And then I was actually going to like the attendants at the garages being like, is this license plate in here? And they were like, no. And I'm like, what? So it ended up happening that I was on the right street, but it was like a weird side entrance.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyways, that's like the thing I'm most careful about now is where am I parking my car? Yeah. So
and then we've lost it together a couple of times. One major where it was dicey down there.
She thought it was dicey. I didn't.
It was dicey.
And I'm like kind of a paranoid person, and she was.
No, I didn't.
She thought like these guys stole our car and then were watching us.
I didn't think they stole our car. I was just like, okay, yes, I did think they stole it because I thought they were trying to lure us to that spot, and then they were. Well, because listen, they had a white van. Everyone knows it's a white van. Everyone knows.
Yeah, like the spot we thought our car was in was empty, so she thought it was stolen, and then there were these guys there all together. It was kind of a weird like meetup hangout situation. Like they weren't just getting in their car; they were like chilling there. No, and then she was like, "That's who's taking us."
I choose a bear. No, I choose the bear. So now we take a picture every time we're in. You do. We try to really mark where we are. The problem with parking garages, though, I will say, is like you park and you go out and exit, and then you're walking around. You're generally not going back in the same way. Sometimes you can't even go in the same way because the door is locked. So then you're now I have to go figure out what, I don't know. It's just hard. It's hard for us. Yeah. That's all. So
I'm really, really directionally challenged though. Like my brain is not math or directions or anything like that.
No, it was so fun. That was funny because I was on the phone with you last week. I was coming to pick you up, which we'll talk about after, but your friend said, oh, you should be going northbound. I was like, what am I, fucking compass? How am I supposed to know where northbound is?
I don't even know where north is right now.
Oh, well, yeah.
That way.
It's that way.
Yeah.
And then do you know the like never eat shredded wheat? Is that how you do like like north, east, south, west?
No, I just remember that west is on the left.
No, but it's like never eat shredded wheat is how you remember. Okay, well maybe that was back in my day. We needed those because we were dum-dums. I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, no.
You just know it's northeast, southwest.
Yeah, but in fairness, when we were driving downtown the other day, west was to the right. And like we were going south, but west to get on the 401 was this way.
That was so
and
confusing.
East was this way. So I'm like, that makes no sense. If we're going south, why it would be
like we were both really confused there. And it's like, then they must have to like crisscross, right?
Yeah, it's really bizarre. I don't know why it's set up like that.
It was weird.
If you've ever driven down the DVP, why is it set up like that?
I know. Well, let's get into infrastructure.
Yeah.
No. So your week was good? You had...
Yeah, there was a lot. I went to a play with my friend Sam, who's also a fellow vegan like us. We love her so much. And we went out for dinner at Fresh.
We love Fresh.
Yeah, Fresh.
I visited really Fresh as well last week. Different.
Yeah.
Time. We love Fresh.
Literally the next day. I've never been to this location, and then I went there 2 days in a row. It's like, okay. But we went to this play that her boyfriend directed, and it was really cool. It was a small theater, which I love going to, like small.
Yeah, I'm glad you went.
Theater. Yeah, it was kind of like, it was called Constellations, and it was about different outcomes in relationships. So like they met at a picnic and it's like, okay, these two are single in this scenario, then the lights would go out. Okay, no, now he has a girlfriend in this scenario. And then it would also be like conflict and conversations. If the guy was maybe more of an asshole, how would the conversation go? So it was like the script didn't change throughout, but then the actual characters and way that they spoke
Right.
would. Like the beginning of the scene, I guess, would be the same, and then it could veer off into different directions.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool, and there were some like really interesting creative choices. The set was cool because it was all just like hanging light bulbs, and like they would all go off at different times, or it would just like go dark. And I think as actors, like to prepare for so many different scenarios and roles and like motivations, it was really interesting. And actually, one of them, I don't know if I told you, I recognized one of the scenes from my acting studio.
Oh yeah,
I've heard it a billion times. So I was like, oh wow, I know this scene.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, because I don't know a lot of like theater, so I was like, oh wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was really fun to see that, and just like relationships and how we handle each other. And yeah, and then we went back to the city the next day.
Yeah, the next day. So my friend's daughter, who's 16, she was visiting. Her and I are little soulmates. We're book soulmates. And I don't know, her and I just get along really well. And so she had reached out to me. And so I went down. We went to Fresh so we could catch up. And then we hit a couple bookstores. And then she gave me a couple books of her favorites. So I'm now reading some young adult. And I love it. It's great because that's my capacity.
I
She
like
reads
young adult.
classical literature and I'm young adult.
No, you read
No,
challenging
I just
books.
think it's fun when somebody's really like, this is my favorite book. I'm like, I want to know what your favorite book is so we can talk about it. So,
Yeah, you should read my favorite book,
gosh, okay.
De Profundis by Oscar Wilde.
Okay.
It's really good.
I will.
I think you'd actually like it.
Yeah, so that was last week. Also, you went to a wedding on Saturday. I went to a fundraiser.
Yeah, I went to my first Catholic wedding. That was interesting. Like the reception.
Catholic Italian.
Yeah. The actual ceremony, the church itself is so beautiful. I always get a really eerie, creepy feeling in a church. I don't know what it is.
I love when I dropped you off though, because you had to take the train there, and I dropped you off, and I was just about, before you were about to get out of the car, I was like, oh, you know that this is going to be like at least an hour. Your face, like,
I was like,
I
what?
swear you almost got whiplash. You whipped your head at me and you're like, what?
Yeah, it was so.
But I was like,
went
well, it's
to
a mass.
I
Yeah.
went to full on mass, like
That's-
bread and all, because I
Yeah.
actually am Catholic.
Right.
Unfortunately, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's a joke.
Well, she was baptized, so.
Yeah, and I got my communion. But
Yeah.
anyways, I didn't realize I was going to full on mass. Do you know how many times I had to kneel on the freaking things?
I know. Yeah,
I
that's
was
a lot.
crazy. And they're like sitting, this guy, it was like an SNL skit. Then the guy's sitting on like a throne
Right.
up there.
Yeah.
It was really bizarre. I find religious stuff kind of bizarre though in general, just like the ceremony of it all. And I mean, especially, Christian Catholicism is like, oh my God, what's happening? But obviously it was beautiful. And her dress is one of my favorite wedding dresses I've ever seen.
I actually I've only seen a picture like of you guys with the photo booth, but I haven't actually seen, like, did you take any of her like at the church?
Not at the church, no, because but she was just like in
Whipped.
and out, obviously.
Yeah.
But I have some pictures, like it was just gorgeous, like strapless, sparkle. Like
She's
if I
so
could
beautiful too.
Yeah.
I love her so much. She's
Yeah.
such a great gem. I love her.
Yeah, Sarah's like one of the best people.
Yeah.
And I adore her. And like a lot of people I feel that are starting to get married, it's like, oh God, like they're getting married. But with her, it's like, oh, I'm actually really happy she's getting married.
Well,
because
you really like who she's marrying to.
Yeah,
right?
he's the best, and they're just like so great together. And
They're the ones
Yeah.
that we rolled up last October, was it? We were here by ourselves for whatever reason, and we were just gonna have a wine night and hang out, and then you were like, oh, my friends are all in the city, and we literally got ready. We had music blasting, we're drinking wine, we're like, let's hop on the train and go meet them.
yeah,
So,
we were quite wine drunk. Then we made a traveler for the train down.
yeah, that's like actually one of my favorite videos of you when you're walking behind me and you're
yeah.
like, skirt
Yeah, we got hammered because I ended up in a booth in the club
yeah
because it was
They
his
had a-
birthday. It was his 30th birthday.
that was pretty
That was
fun.
March.
Was
only
that March?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I thought that was like last October.
No, yeah, that was not that long ago. Not much has changed.
Why were we by that's weird. Anyways, I don't know why we're by ourselves, but
Yeah,
Good.
it was crazy, but it was such a fun night, and you came out with us and came to the club in Toronto. It was really fun. So yeah, it was a incredible wedding, and the food was some of the best food I've ever had in my life.
And then I picked you
10
up
out of 10
to try and get her to go to bed early.
Yeah, but then my friends needed to come over and chat, and then next thing you know, there was another tequila. And think about how much you drink at a wedding, right? If you are a drinker,
Yes.
if you're listening to this, a lot. And I was in decent shape where if I had just gone to bed, I would have been fine. But then my friends came over, and next thing you know, it was 4:30 in the morning, and I was still drinking tequila. So let's try not make tonight like that.
I had to work the next day, and I was like, no, the reason I was picking you up is to avoid that. But Bobby Rock,
Bobby Rock is my drunk alter ego because he looks like your drunk uncle at a function, and he acts like it too.
Yeah.
And he is a man, because when I was telling Sydney about him, I was like, yeah, my alter ego, he. And she's like, he? Like, yeah, Bobby Rock is a man that lives within me. He came out later on that night, and Bobby Rock is a little mouthy too.
Yeah.
I can't be responsible for things Bobby Rock says and does, because he is his own person.
Right.
So anyways, I was not at the Bobby Rock level when you picked me up, but he came out. He was coming out.
Yeah, he was teetering. So I was like, oh boy. It's, you know what it is for me? Your eyes. When you're, it's like they go in different directions or something. When
they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
like, yes, they do.
Yeah, and that's when you know it's time to call it a night. But you know what? I had one of those really lucky months where I hadn't had a single hangover the entire month of August. And like we said in our last episode, we did lots of partying, weddings, cottage, and then I kind of felt a bit invincible, I guess.
Yeah.
But that hangover at work wasn't even my worst one.
No.
I've had much worse. Like people, like my friend Tyler, we stayed up the latest. He was here till like 4:30, and he texted me, I thought I was in the passing away process when I woke up this morning. How the fuck did you go to work? I'm like, I don't know.
Just got to keep rolling. I love it. And then like last night you were off today. So I was like, and they were all going somewhere. And I was like, why are you not going? No, I want to go out tonight when I know I work the next day. That's how I want to plan it.
I didn't feel like going out last night, and I had the best sleep of my life last night.
So now you're ready to go.
And I had to be productive today, and which we are.
Yes.
If I had drank last night, we wouldn't be sitting here right now, most likely.
I know.
So yeah, I'd rather be over at work than on my days off.
So true. So I met Jesse, your producer.
Yes, the icon himself.
So great.
And it was one of those weird things where you feel like you know someone, right? When you hear about them so much.
Totally. Yeah. And we've talked on the phone with him. And so I was just like, I feel like I know him. But it was nice to put a face to get that hug. Got to get my hug in.
Yeah.
I'm a hugger. So... so then that was really good. And then you got working on your third song.
Yeah, which has been a creative struggle for us. We also filmed us talking about 100 Days, which is my second single. So that's going to come out on my channel really soon. And I'm excited because getting to like sit down and chat. And I do so many studio vlogs where it's like the camera's kind of the fly on the wall. So it was cool to actually sit and address the camera with him and like chat. And also shout out to my Uncle Jeff, because the file got deleted because I have this new camera battery where if you don't, like if it dies while I'm filming, it erases whatever file was currently filming. So it erased everything Jesse and I did. And I was on the internet for an hour researching, downloading all these sketchy programs to try and fix it. And I couldn't get it. But my uncle is one of the smartest people I know.
Smartest.
Yeah. Like
definitely works for the CIA.
Yeah. Like he knows
something.
Everything about everything, history. Like,
and he's not pretentious at all, which if I were that smart, I would be so obnoxious about it. And he is like the opposite, salt of the earth, like can rally with whatever we're talking about. We're not the smartest family when we're all together. We talk about dumb stuff and he's great with it. He's totally, he's awesome.
He is, and it's funny because I think we talked about Sarah in the last episode, right? So they're married.
Yes.
So they're just overall like the coolest couple, and I love them so much. So anyways, he recovered the file, and he couldn't quite get the frame rate up, so it's a bit laggy, you know?
Yeah.
But he was like, oh, don't worry, I've contacted support, so I'm trying to see if I can get it. I'm like, we didn't have to do that
like,
much.
Right.
Like, oh my God, it was so sweet of him. So
yeah.
So yeah, that'll be out on my channel soon, thanks to my uncle.
Yes. Nice. And then the last thing I have is just I went to an energy healer. So I mean, I don't know. I guess it's one of those things, like, my girlfriend really wanted to know the breakdown of it. And it is like, it's one of those things that's kind of personal, but it's also like, I don't know how much I believe of it. But then I also couldn't believe some of the stuff she was saying. Like, it was pretty, like, she doesn't even know me, and the stuff she was saying was really dead on for certain ages, things that have happened in my life. She really nailed it. And so there's got to be a part of me that believed it a little bit. And I think it's like anything in life, it's what you make of it, right? Am I going to revolve my entire life around it? No, but I'm going to take the parts that I really liked. And she did tell me that I need to be in nature a little more, like rooting in the earth, and like, you know, because I said, you know, I'm having some trouble just making some decisions, some life decisions. And she's like, you need to be, you know, rooting a little more in earth, in nature, and with the earth and stuff. So I did that today. I sat on that nice big tree, and I just, you know, just sat and did that. But yeah, that was pretty cool. I'm pretty open to like anything new
we're
like
like
that.
very spiritual people, and like I usually say to people if they kind of doubt it, I'm like, these are like ancient practices though that have been around forever. Like, this chick didn't just make up energy healing in her own time, you know what I mean?
No, yeah,
so
yeah.
it's kind of like, it's cool. And I actually know a lot of people that aren't super spiritual that like believe in like Reiki and all that. So yeah, and we also did a moon like ceremony too for the full moon, and we were writing down what we wanted to let go of, what we want to welcome in, as well as gratitude. And we did it on like the windiest day, and we had a lot of stuff in the fire pit, so the cardboard was piled up. So when we lit the fire, it was really big and really windy. So when we threw our pages in, they all started flying back at us. I was like, this seems like a bad omen. Right. Oh no. And like chunks, like imagine chunks of
and
stuff
we were
flying.
like
we're all running around the backyard for our
like,
lives.
And then our house smelled like a campfire for like 3 days. I could not get that smell out.
Yeah, our neighbors love us.
They love us. We are really good. Can you imagine? They were all like, oh God, here comes some fire right past our tree.
Into people's backyards.
We were all like, we didn't even know what to do either. None of us came up with a plan. We're all just like, the whole time. What do we do? What do we do?
And then you said, should we grab the fire extinguisher?
Because I was
grab
like,
the hose.
Yeah, I was like, well, have you seen that hose that we have? No, don't grab that. That thing is annoying.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like one of those ones that are like, it's only goes out if there's water. Like, it goes up to like nothing, like this, and then it doesn't reach very far, and it's not the best. So I was like, let's get the fire extinguisher just in case.
Yeah, that was really funny though.
Yeah. I'm all for like doing stuff like that. And regardless, we had a funny night, like, if, you know, and I think it's just fun to put your gratitude out there as much as possible. And
oh yeah, because that wasn't pina colada night a few nights ago. I don't know. We've all just been on this huge party vibe in August, which is funny because I swear we either don't drink at all or we all party together all the time. There's like no in between. And I also think it's summer.
Yeah, summer brings good vibes.
Yeah.
I think it was like it was just like a random Wednesday, and we happened to all be home at the same time, which is very rare in our house that we're all here. And with that, we all want to be drinking.
And we were all, the three of us, not all, sorry.
Yeah.
The three of us, you, Dad, and I, were all off on the Thursday.
So for us, I'm off all summer, but yeah.
Oh yeah, true, yeah.
Speaking of summer, it's coming to an end. This is now August 30th. So I was going to ask you, do you think that summer, or do you think the new year is September, or do you consider it January?
Definitely September.
Yeah.
There's something about transition seasons like fall that make me feel way more refreshed. And I don't know, it's weird. Like with New Year's, it happens and then it's January, but it's like still winter and nothing really feels different. Yeah. And I also usually have like post-show depression because January, my show that I love that I'm in every December, ends. And then I'm like, oh, that was so fun.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I like both, maybe for different reasons. Like September is like start of a school year, and you always go in super refreshed, and you're, you know, January, like you come back from Christmas vacation, it doesn't feel like, it's a new year.
And I feel like September, October, November, December, those are just such good months.
No, it's the best. Yeah. It's anything like July on is my favorite time of year, right?
Yeah, definitely. There's so much to look forward to, and I love holidays. I love Halloween and Christmas.
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving, and then you just come back in January and it's like, oh, for me it's not so bad because my birthday is January 13th, so I still have my birthday to kind of look forward to it. I'm a Capricorn.
I'm a Scorpio.
What was I gonna say? Yeah, I feel way more refreshed and new in September. And I think it's also ingrained in my head because growing up your whole life, like start of school is September. So it's like, it's just going to be in there forever.
Totally. Yeah. No, it's very true. Yeah. So it's almost the new year. So happy new year, everyone.
Yeah. Happy New Year, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Wish you all the best.
And I'm a fall person now. I don't like the summer anymore. The summers are
girly.
too hot. And yeah, I just don't like it anymore. It's
Thank
sad.
God I got her on my team. Like, it's taken me a long time because, I mean, as soon as it would be a leaf would be a different color, she'd be hysterical. She'd be wearing a coat, like a winter coat in September. She was so dramatic about it.
Yeah. And
now
I'm
you're
like,
loving it. You're like, get a cozy blanket, a book, a tea.
It was probably also how,
Rainy.
like how I say classics changed my life, as I love like the rain and how I said I'm obsessed with Edinburgh, and like I just love like the coziness and the cool weather, the creepy vibes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Should we wrap it up there?
Wrap
I gotta
it up.
go to my pool party.
Pool party.
Let's see how I feel at work tomorrow. And until Bobby Rock doesn't come out tonight.
No Bobby Rock tonight.
Maybe a nice
maybe
version
Bob
of Bob
Rock or something.
Yeah.
Or you, maybe like you're teetering
full
him.
Bobby. Yeah.
Full Bobby's a lot.
Yeah. He's so fun though.
He's so fun.
I love him.
I know.
But yeah, that'll be fun. I have so much fun with my friends, like I said before. And
Yeah.
I feel
No,
like
it's great.
you just see people more in the summer because everyone's just like ready to have a good time.
Yeah, people are just more energized and loving life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
That's that.
Well, thank you so much for watching or listening. And we are so astonished by the amount of views we got on our first episode.
Yeah.
It's like over 100, which for a brand new podcast is shocking.
No, it's great.
And we actually have way more views on YouTube than Spotify listeners. So it's interesting.
So it's perfect. Some people, I guess, want the visual.
Yeah,
So.
I love watching podcasts, so I get it.
So I just want to say really quickly, my thoughts and prayers are going to the Nelson family. We've had one of our coworkers. She had a brain aneurysm, and yeah, so we're pretty in the thick of just hoping that she's going to be okay. So my thoughts and prayers are with the family and with her. And she's an incredible lady, and the earth still needs her. So
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, she's a
Sending
sweetheart.
all the love.
Yeah, so be grateful. Maybe give everyone an extra hug or an I love you today, because man, life is pretty precious, right?
100%.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.